In this video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin to see where price is heading. We're going to be giving a technical analysis on TradingView. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video. Please, if you like, comment and subscribe as I'm trying to hit 500 subs. As well as that, before investing into Bitcoin, please do your own research as I'm not a financial advisor. So as you can see on CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin is currently down let me refresh, 0.28% on the daily. You can see that Bitcoin is pretty much consolidating. You can see it's making equal highs, equal lows, pretty much making a range. And we did have a huge, we pretty much had a spring taking out all the liquidity, and then we did have a huge drop. No, we did have a huge drop and then a huge spring. So essentially, pretty much liquidating all of the buyers and sellers within this range. And it looks like price is slowly coming back down to this demand zone. We're gonna have to wait and see what price does. But if we look in the weekly, we can see that Bitcoin has been crazily bullish. You can see here that we did have a huge drop, near enough hitting 34.48k, and then we did have a huge bullish momentum coming through for the market. This was mainly due to the whole Ukraine, Russia, all that type of new stuff. But if we go over to TradingView to have a bit more in-depth analysis of what is going on with Bitcoin. So as you can see on the, let's go on the daily. So on the daily, you can see that Bitcoin, so I had predicted that Bitcoin would tap into this demand zone of around about 30k, but it looks like it didn't. Pretty much Bitcoin from this region onwards, it pretty much just went flying up. If we drop into the 4-hour, we have a bit more in-depth analysis. So from here you can see that Bitcoin did have a accumulation schematic play out. If we quickly just take this through, let me just put it down to here, and so okay, let's just put it. Okay, so from here you can see that price did make a secondary test, so pretty much a selling climax. We had an automatic rally, we had a secondary test, and then we had a pullback, and then from this pullback we had a spring, pretty much taking out all of the weak buyers in this region, and pretty much even this region, pretty much liquidating all of those. And then from this region, we had a huge reaction from this. This is what you call the spring, and then from the spring we did have a pullback, essentially called a retest. And then from this retest, from the accumulation schematic, we have had a huge impulse reaction. If we could draw a Fibonacci from the low to the high of this, where would Bitcoin most likely come back? In my opinion, I think Bitcoin will come back into this region. So let me just quickly mark this out. This region out. Okay, yep, so this region pretty much a strong demand zone. The main reason for this is that there's huge imbalances between these candles, and that is a very, very strong reversal point on this 0.618 region. And I feel like Bitcoin is now starting to make a distribution schematic. So from here you can see here that we're starting to make another distribution schematic, if you know Wyckoff, and we could possibly be seeing another move towards the downside. Essentially, that is the main reason for this. So from here you can see that we've had a buying climax, and then we had a secondary test, and then we had automatic rally, and then pretty much we had a UTAD, pretty much waiting for a retest occurring now. And then from this retest we should have a little minor drop towards the downside, pretty much gaining more orders. And then from this we should have another impulse up towards the upside for Bitcoin. Let me just quickly annotate this so you can see here that this is probably a buying climax, and here onwards you can see that we've had pretty much secondary test, ST, buying climax, ST, AR, automatic rally, so automatic rally. And then from here, let me just quickly, I'm gonna put this here, and then from here you can see that we did have a huge UTAD, so UT, and then from this you can see this pretty much just liquidity based upon, and you can see here that liquidity is based upon this region. Let's just put this as liquidity. So yeah, you can see liquidity just pretty much all over here. And then UT, we're just waiting for now price to come back up, make a retest essentially. So a retest would possibly be around this region. So retest, yeah, so pretty much a retest occurring. We're just waiting for a retest, and then from this retest we should have another push towards the downside. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this distribution phase. And we could have a sign of weakness essentially occurring over around about this region, and then have a little pullback up towards upside, and then from then onwards we just have a little rally down towards the downside. So yeah, you can see that on the lower, so pretty much on the lower time frame we are bullish, but on the higher time frame you got to take into consideration that we are overall bullish. And pretty much we're waiting on a price to see how price reacts essentially from this distribution, or it could even become a reaccumulation essentially. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how price reacts. If we drop into the lower time frame, we could possibly even have a bit more analysis on this. Yeah, so pretty much you can see here that there is so much liquidity. So automatic rally was around about there. There's pretty much liquidity. The good point about this is that there's more liquidity, so price will definitely come back down, take out the double top, and therefore we should have another pretty much price movement towards the downside. But from this, I feel like we could definitely reach the highs of a 50k. The main reason for this is this is all pretty much just liquidity, and in order for us to have a proper change in character, we would possibly aim for, this is my main region, this is my main target of 50, 52, 51, 51, 52k. As at this point, there's been a double top essentially, and there's loads and loads of liquidity based upon here. But it will take time, and we're just gonna have to wait and see how the overall markets are. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe as we're trying to 500 subs.